Hello and welcome to my video showing you my proposal for the simplest way of getting some TV back in your car when all you've got is an analog system, a system that was installed prior to the digital switchover. Now I'm making this video in regards to a Jaguar XJ. It's an X358 2008 XJ long wheelbase, but this could apply to any vehicle that does have TV capabilities and was prior to the digital era. Now let's just dive right in. The reason why I wanted to make this video, the reason why I actually wanted to make this as simple as possible, was because I didn't really want to take apart my car. Now if you're having a little look at this dashboard and the wiring and kind of like the setup generally that I've got in here, it's beautiful. I don't really want to rip this apart, so I started coming up with I suppose the simplest way that I could do it. Now the simplest way that I could do it was actually through the back using an aux input which was already there, but that gave me an idea. I thought, what if I could make this wireless? What if I could transmit this over the TV signal that's already kind of active? It's already got an antenna in the car. I just need to figure out how to make use of it. So this is what I did. I bought myself a Villa TV transmitter. Now it's very simple in the way that it works. You set yourself a frequency, like I have here. That was the hardest part. It was finding a frequency, getting that set up, and then essentially just plugging in your input. So this one has two inputs, one for the audio, one for the video. Now what I did, I bought an Amazon's basic 1 male to 2 female RCA adapter, so I could plug in a standard aux cable. That aux cable or AV cable goes into the HDMI to AV adapter. Into that is plugged my Chromecast, and everything's powered up via the USB sockets on this inverter, 12 volt inverter, and the power source for that. Now it's a relatively simple setup, but it works quite well. The one thing I will say is if you are using devices like the Chromecast or the Fire Stick, you will need an active internet connection in order to make them work. In order to get an internet connection active, the only alternative to my method, which is a MiFi device, is actually tethering from your phone. Now if you've got an Android, you can download an app called Tasker, which automatically activates your Wi-Fi hotspot to connect to these devices. That would by far be the cheapest method of getting all of this done, hassle free. Stick it in the glove box, job done. And it works quite well. I mean, in the glove box at the moment I've got an FM transmitter and a Tunai Firefly for my audio streaming whilst I was getting this set up, but I'll show you how easily this can fit. So the moment I unplug it, the signal goes dead, but I can literally just chuck this entire setup right in there and plug it in and shut that glove box. See, it's just all gone in there and it works fine. It's not very clean, it's not very neat, but at the same time I didn't have to take apart the car and it still works. I can add a few other devices, so I can add a Fire Stick into there. I would do that using the HDMI hub here, so you can plug in multiple HDMI devices straight into it. If you were going to use a Freeview box, it might be a little bit difficult using it at the front. I'm not sure if there is a fuse box. I haven't actually explored the idea of putting it at the front, but it might be worth a gander. If you can stick it all in the glove box, why not? The only thing is controlling it all. Now for that I do have this IR transmitter, so there's two of these boxes. One of them you put in front of the actual infrared sensor, one you put it in the car wherever you want to control everything, and it transmits the signal from your remote to your devices. You can change the channels and whatnot. With the Amazon Fire Stick, it's not necessary, it's a Bluetooth remote, but with everything else I've found it's infrared. And obviously I've got a few extra lighter socket USB hubs to power everything else. Now, it looked like a lot of stuff in the photos in the boot of my car, but it's actually quite a simple setup. Now the ACM as well, which you may have seen pictured, I do want to put an ACM in. So essentially my setup is going to be a little bit more complicated. I want a Fire Stick, a Chromecast, I want a Freeview box, and I want the ACM using Bluetooth transmitting from my phone. So my setup is a little bit complicated, but you can have it as simple as that. Chuck it in your glove box, job's a good one. It's entirely on you what you want to do. You don't have to have everything at the same time. If you're like me, you can have everything if you really want. It's just the more you want to put into it, the more thinking that is required. So like I said, it's as simple as that. Chuck it in your glove box, it works a treat. The only thing is it is a little bit more expensive than any of the other methods. So rather than connecting it to the AV ports in the back of the car, it costs an extra £100 for the AV transmitter. The only place that I've found that actually sells them is in China, via eBay, and that does mean import taxes. I got mine for 88 quid. I'm yet to receive the invoice for the income taxes, or the import taxes should I say, but once I do find out I will let you guys know. But that's pretty much my video done. If you have any questions for me, just pop me a comment or pop me a message. I'll be happy to help. Thank you very much, guys.